presence of my distinguished colleague, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who's the author of Senate Bill 909, calling for the increase in penalties of illegal numbers game or illegal gambling. No? I'd like to acknowledge also the presence of our resource persons from the PCSO, representing the chairman and the general manager, Attorney Annalisa Ensiong. Magandang umaga po. From the PNP, Police Director Roel Abusan. Good morning and congratulations sa bagong promotion. And your staff who are here today. Representing the GAB, Attorney Benitez. And from the DOJ, Attorney, is it Dashiell or Dashiell? Dashiell Yanchapo. Dashiell Po. We might as well discuss, aside from discussing Senate Bill 909, we might as well discuss or have a briefing from the PNP on some data gathered regarding illegal gambling activities and what the PNP is doing to curb illegal gambling. Sa PCSO naman, discuss na rin natin yung charter. How old is the charter of PCSO? 80 plus years old. Yeah. So I think it's time to amend or introduce a new charter kasi hindi na attune, di ba? Hindi na attune sa times. And wala na yung sweepstakes. May sweepstakes pa ba?
Instant sweepstakes.
Instant, yung scratch? Anyway, sige, let's proceed. Sherwin, will you kindly discuss the features of your bill?
Thank you.
Or shall we have a briefing muna? Intro muna yung bill mo, then we have a
mabilis lang
briefing.
to, Senator. Senator, thank you very much for inviting me to this very important committee. SB 909 is a very simple bill. It will introduce new games as well as increase the penalties of the games that were left out in RA 9287. Just to give the body a chronology of events of the laws that govern illegal gambling here in our country, PD 1602, which was enacted by President Marcos, prescribed the penalties and identified the games that are considered illegal here in our country. Succeedingly, RA 9287 expanded the number of games, no, and included weteng, masyaw, last two in the list of illegal numbers game here in our country. Unfortunately, RA 9287 left out the increase of penalty. So this representation proposed to increase to synchronize, no, PD 1602 and RA 9287, thereby increasing the penalties of weteng, masyaw, and last two, and also increasing other illegal numbers game not prescribed in RA 9287. We included in particular, Mr. Chairman, sakla, no, because I remember when I was a mayor, itong sakla is one of the most popular illegal gambling activities of the urban centers. And ang nakakalungkot ho dito, Mr. Chairman, lahat po ng mga tao sa barangay kasali, no, including the police, no. With all due respect to our policemen, yung mga operators ng sakla, nag-orbit ho sila. So ibig sabihin, para po payagan mag-operate ng police at barangay sa kanilang lugar, nagbibigay sila ho ng konti-konti doon sa police at sa barangay. And this goes on to the very last barangay and street here in the urban centers. I remember, sakla is, ang ginagawa ho nila sa sakla parang in guise of tumutulong sa mga pamilya no? So I think the family gets about 40% of the earnings, pero yung 60% pumupunta po sa operator. Wala akong regulation, Mr. Chairman, no? Ibig sabihin, bata, matanda, mahirap, mayaman, kahit naka-uniforme pa yung estudyante, pwede pong palaruin ng sakla sa kanilang lugar. So it really corrupts not only our law enforcement agency, but also corrupts our youth because it's operating in the whenever it's possible to operate. So, Mr. Chair, this humble representation once again proposes to expand the number of illegal numbers game and illegal gambling here in our country, synchronizing the penalties for all those illegal activities, including particularly sakla, no, in the enumeration of illegal gambling activities itemized by by PD 1602. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Chairman Baham Mitra of the Games and Amusements Board and also Commissioner Matthew Gaston. Also, Master, upo ka na rin dyan. Anyway, pwede naman kayo magsama dyan. So, now I'd like to hear from the PNP. No? Ano ba yung status, ano ba yung mga data gathered so far sa illegal gambling activities and what, ano yung mga operations being conducted? So, are you ready to brief, Roel?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, good morning, sir. Actually, Mr. Chair, the PNP is very much willing to give its own to eradicate the illegal numbers game existing in our country, and we appreciate the proposed bill of the Honorable Gatchalian pertaining to the eradication of this problem. Mr. Chair, our office, the IDM of the PNP has collated all the facts and the data pertaining to the illegal numbers game as to our operations and confiscations and to the cases filed. So, Mr. Chair, considering that the repository of all these documents is the DIDM, we have the IDM to brief us.
So, you're from the IDM, si Senior Superintendent Manzanilla.
Yes, sir.
So, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I am Police Senior Superintendent Fausto Manzanilla, the Acting Executive Officer of the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management. So I am going to touch, Mr. Chair, with on the records or statistics with
Before you
relation
proceed,
to...
let me acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Sueno. Magandang umaga po, sir. Thank you for coming. Inimbita po namin kayo dahil concerned din ng mga local government, ng local government units itong issue, particular na yung sa STL. So, we'd like to also pick your brain on this, kung ano yung position. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. To continue with, I am going to present the statistics involving illegal gambling nationwide. For the information of everybody, for the calendar year 2015, from January to December, we have recorded a total of 7,831 operations. This resulted to the arrest of 14,379 persons. Of those cases, 4,291 were referred to the prosecutor, 2,424 were filed in court, while 1,116 are still under investigation. Mr. Chair, I would like to note that this case is under investigation is just a matter of updating the records. After this, we will be reconciling records as to the number of cases filed and referred to the prosecutor. From January to December 2016, we recorded a total of 6,018 operations conducted. This resulted to the arrest of 9,822 persons, 2,859 cases referred to the prosecutor, and 2,497 cases filed in court, while 662 is under investigation. The illegal gambling activities are broken down or classified as follows. 114 or 1.4% are waiting activities. 131 or 2% are fruit game. 26 or 0.3% are drop ball. 45 or 0.5% are mahjong. 90 or 1.1% are color game. 1,439 or 18.37% are STL bookies. 59 or 0.7 are sakla. 1,518 or 19.38% were Caracruz. 346 or 4.41 are cockfighting. 914 or 11.6% were high alay, while 3,149 or 40.2% are classified as other illegal gambling activities. It covers, Mr. Chair, tong each, pusoy, dice, etc. That's why they are classified as other. That's how we have a decline or a decrease in the number of operations conducted by 23%, primarily because during the second semester of 2016, the focus of the PNP is already on or shifted to illegal drugs. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, conviction.
I will submit the body later.
I will guess, zero.
Yes, sir.
Since time immemorial, wala pa akong narinig na na-convict sa illegal gambling.
May na-file naman tayo.
Meron ba?
Meron, sir, meron.
Ilan?
I have no data yet, Mr.
Pero
Chair.
more or less,
Mali.
guesstimate lang. Yung ano lang, memory, sa memory mo lang.
Hindi maubos yung finger natin.
Ganun ba? Ay, hindi mo ubos.
Listen.
Why is that so? Why is that so? Why is there very little percentage ng conviction? What do you think?
Mr. Chair, per record of 2015 and 2016, we have thousands of filed cases, meaning it's already in the court, it passed through the prosecution. However, Mr. Chair, I really do not know the reason, maybe because of plug dockets, that they somehow tend to not to schedule the hearing of illegal numbers game, Mr. Chair. It's for the courts.
Yes, Senator Servin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ilan pong arrest ang kanina ilan pong arrest po yung nabanggit po ninyo?
For calendar year 2015, we have 14,379 persons arrested.
Ilan po yung kaso na kasuhan?
4,291 cases were referred to prosecutor and 2,424 cases were filed in court.
Ilan po doon ang pulis?
We have,
Wala pang detail.
wala pa kaming data, sir. We will get it and submit it to
Meron
the
ba po
body later.
kayong nakasuhan ng mga pulis?
I could not remember. We'll go to the records.
Kasi ho, in my experience, no, si Secretary Senyo is here. In my experience, hindi ho magkakaroon ng illegal numbers game kung hindi po kasali ang pulis eh. Because they turn a blind eye on the operation. In Sakla lang ho is a very, ito, kita ko with my own eyes. And alam ni Manunang buong barangay ho yun pag tatanungin mo yung mga taga doon eh. No? So, I'm just wondering ho, kung ilan po ang pulis ang kinasuhan o kung meron pong naaresto o naimbestigahan man lang kung meron ho. I guess wala rin. How about local government officials, barangays, kagawad, kasi kasali rin ho sila eh. The barangays actually allow them to operate. No? Mga tanod, especially tanod, dito yung rumorondo sa gabi eh. Meron ho tayong nakasuhang mga barangay and local government officials.
We will also look into the
Wala
matter,
rin.
Your Honor. If I may, Your Honor, this is based on experience. Illegal gambling, especially in the provinces, uh, exists primarily because due to some human consideration among the residents, especially in the barangay, where when death occurred, they usually resorted to pada, sakla, in order to help or give financial aid to the family. So these considerations are being considered by the police. So
Just of that humanitarian effort, they're accepting illegal bribes from the operator, di ba ho?
not necessarily, Mr. Chair. In the provinces,
I will share my experience na during my time, I embarked on a no-take policy. No? And we almost succeeded. Kaya lang, naka-church yung term ni President Arap. Nagkatampuhan pa kami dyan eh. No, I was in the doghouse for 3 months. No? Because I was really going hammer and tongs against illegal gambling activities. And, well, matter of record naman ito. No? And at the time that, I remember, no, at the time when Governor Singson was testifying, I think, kung hindi sa impeachment trial sa Blue Ribbon at the time, tukol nga sa illegal gambling. No? And he showed, he made a presentation. And there were many big provinces. Ito yung pag sinabi natin big provinces, dito yung malalaki talaga yung lagay, running to millions of pesos sa mga provinces. And I tell you, a regional director of Region 3, for example, abot siya hanggang mga 3 million a month. Pag Region 4, mga ganyan din. Pag Bicol, nasa mga 2 million, 1.5, regional. But provincial, when I was provincial director of Laguna, no, way back in 1992, that's the reason why I stayed there for only 4 months, because I requested to be relieved. Kaaway ko lahat yung mga mayors because they kept on filing petitions for my relief. So, sabi ko, magpaalam na lang ako kay General Nazareno, who was then the chief PNP. Ang offer noon, initially, 1.2 a month. No? Just to look the other way. Walang gagawin. And then it increased after 1 month, no? Dahil sustain yung operation, umakit na 1.8 ang offer. But of course, it goes without saying, I did not accept. No? And I left, I think, in August, and I joined the PACC, where the rest is history. No, siguro kaya rin na doon ako dinala, kaya ako naging chief PNP, kaya rin ako naging senador. Siguro kung nag-stay ako sa Laguna, marami akong pera, pero hindi, wala ako dito siguro nagko-conduct ng hearing. So, tama yung sinabi ni Senator Sherwin, ano, hindi mag-proliferate ang illegal gambling kung walang collusion. At yung collusion, again, given yan, pag may collusion, may pera. Kasi kaya nga meron tinatawag na tawag dito yung assignment, merong hardship o hard post assignment, meron din juicy, no? Pag sinabing juicy assignment, ito na yung Pangasinan, Bulacan, Laguna, Batangas, Quezon, ito yung malalaki. And later I will show you, no, yung kasi we have data here na even with the presence of STL. And that's also one of the purposes of this hearing, because we want to find out from PCSO how much money are you missing. Kasi while merong STL operations na merong dapat, di ba, porsyento lang yung franchise holder, lahat ito remitted dapat sa PCSO. But we'll show you later. No? And I might as well tell you now, do sa actual collection, kung halimbawa walang STL at Weteng, Ilocos Norte, for example, ang real gross sales, 7 million per day. Ngayon, pagdating sa PCSO, ang percentage na napupunta lang, based on yung actual remittance, ano, and based doon sa real, yung kung susundin natin, magkano talaga nakukolekta, 12.17% lang ang nakukuha ng PCSO. No? Napakalaki ng discrepancy. And kung meron na lang tayong STL operations at mamaya discuss natin yung proposed amendment ng charter para ma-update natin, because sabi nyo nga yung charter ng PCSO is an 80-year-old charter, Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. Actually, STL na yung pinaka-primary source ng income ng PCSO, no? If I may say that. Yung sweepstakes, maliit na lang eh, di ba? And we'd like to hear from you, magkano ba yung, pagka kinumpare mo yung proceeds from sweepstakes as against proceeds from STL. We also would like to hear from Secretary Sueno, sir, kung ano ba yung programa ng local government units under the DILG and the police, the PNP, para ma-address tong issue na ito. Kailangan talaga i-address natin kasi sobra yung illegal gambling, sobra yung guerrilla, yung tawag natin guerrilla operations. Ang nawawalan din yung PCSO na ang thrust naman ng gastos ninyo papuntang charity, di ba? So, yun. Do you confirm, PNP, tama ba yung sinabi ko? Na let's face it, ano? Let's be frank with each other. Hindi naman talaga magpo-proliferate kung walang collusion, kung walang connivance with the PNP. No, I'm not saying that you are involved, but ito yung talagang kalakaran. So, kaya kailan dito magtulungan yung PCSO, DILG, saka yung PNP. No. And of course, kaya namin invite din si Secretary Aguirre dahil I heard that a task force is being formed and is slated to head the task force on illegal gambling. Totoo ba yun?
Sir, siguro sa the National Prosecution Service po yung mas makakasagot noon kasi I'm with the legal staff. So I will confer with Attorney Daguiso
Yeah, sige.
regarding
Okay.
that.
Sige.
Mr. Chair, marami naman success stories, no, here in Metro Manila. I know there are some LGUs. I think Navotas is one, no? Of course, Valenzuela and a few LGUs na talagang zero sakla policy. Eh, nagagawa ho nila, no? Pag sinabi ho talaga ni Mayor at nagtulong po yung COP, yung Chief of Police, at tutulungan din yung mga pamilya kasi nga nagiging scapegoat yung pagbibigay doon sa mahirap na pamilyang namatayan. So, but if the COP, the Chief Police, and the Mayor will work together, kaya ho eh. And this has been proven in a lot of the LGUs here in Metro Manila. Although marami pa rin ho, no? Yung mga malalaking cities. Sa gabi lang ho, pag umikot ho kayo, tapos meron ho kayong nakitang kubol, may patay, guarantee ho, may sakla ho doon.
And it's 60-40. 60% to the operator, 40% to the family nung namatayan. Ang masama doon, pag nag-waste ka, papasok sa interior, hindi yung makadaan kasi ang daming kubol, dahil may patay, may sakla. So, minsan napapahaba pa yung biyahe mo. No? Umiwas sa traffic. Yes, Chairman Baham.
Chairman, Senator Lacson, of course, Senator Gatchalian, to the other guests, good morning. So the Games and Amusements Board, one of its tasks is to go after anti-illegal gambling, and we have an anti-illegal gambling unit. We used to have, but during the time of Secretary Robredo, the police personnel assigned to us was withdrawn, and since that time, we have none. But we recently signed a memorandum, and Secretary Sueño has assigned 14 personnel. So we're just about to start. But we'd like to share the experience of the Games and Amusements in the past administration. They went after this, they had operations, there was prosecution. So if you may allow, Mr. Chairman, short presentation from the Legal Division Head of the Games and Amusements Board, Attorney Omar Benitez.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, Your Honors. We will go straight to the legal basis of the anti-illegal gambling unit, yes. The IGU, Your Honors, was created in 1992 by virtue of an administrative order. The mandate being to combat and prevent the existence of illegal bookie joints and other gambling in professional sports and amusement games. This was later on strengthened in 1995, this time during the time of President Ramos, basically by increasing the agencies from which the detailed law enforcement personnel will be sourced. This is because, Your Honor, the Games and Amusements Board has no law enforcement officers. Mostly we are sports regulation officers, and the previous, the said administrative orders deemed it proper to assign law enforcement personnel for the exercise of GAB's mandate. The composition, Your Honors, as the orders stand now, the detailed personnel are from the PNP, the NBI, the PRC, the PCSO, and other law enforcement agencies of the government. Based on our records, Your Honor, as of 2005, there were 2 operational teams of detailed personnel composed of 2 officers and 13 PNCOs. By 2010, this was reduced to 1 team with 1 officer and 7 PNCOs. Next slide, please. In March 2011, an additional 7 PNCOs were sent to GAB via detail. However, as Mr. Chairman Baham was saying a while ago, the detailed personnel were pulled out. This is because in September 2011, the details of the police personnel with GAB expired. And we tried to have this renewed to no avail, Your Honors. We sent several letters, but due to the dearth of personnel who will be manning the other operations of the PNP, our request was denied. So from 2011 up to present, we do not have any...
Baka walang accomplishment, kaya terminate. Can you show us? Meron kayo
Yes, sir.
papakita? Sige.
With the records that we have, which is from 2005 to 2011, a total of 765 personnel were arrested, involving 160,000 gambling money, 105 video machines. Yes, Your Honor. And then 236 OTBs were inspected, and 39 high-alay of fronton stations were closed. The 39 high-alay of fronton stations happened early 2011, Your Honor, when we enforced...
Were you there already in 2005?
No, Your Honor.
Kasi I'm going to criticize eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Look, this is nationwide, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. We cannot call that an accomplishment. 765 arrested, 161,000 money confiscated. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. That's for the 6-year period.
Parang wala, nil. Di ba? Parang nakakaya pa i-present. Kaya nga.
That's what we have at that at this point, Your Honor. Yes.
Kaya nga sabi. Kaya tinanong muna kita kung nandun ka ng 2005 kasi magkikriticize ako eh.
I was there December 2010, Your Honor.
Okay. Sige, please proceed.
Next slide, please. As to the prosecution, Your Honor, our records show that there are 256 personnel convicted as of 2011. And while we are still updating the records, we already, well, the rest, we booked it as dismissed, acquitted, or some are still ongoing trial, Your Honors.
Yung conviction, ano to? Karamihan mga fines lang, ano?
Yes, Your Honor. Because these are mostly...
Walang
mentors.
imprisonment, ano?
A small percentage, Your Honor, but not all of them are.
Anong sentensya? And that's the essence of the bill filed
Yes,
by
Your
Senator Sherwin here, no? Para ma-increase yung penalties. Kasi talagang, wala, slap in the wrist, lahat yung, ano eh, yung mga penalties. Ano ba yung penalty sa, say, sa better or collector, yung mga kobrador? Anong penalty
Well,
imposed?
as the law
if convicted?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for better, 30 days to 90 days imprisonment, Your Honor. As the law stands now, Your Honor. Next slide. Mas may graduated na, nagiging years na. Yeah. But this is now what Chairman Baham was referring a while ago. There's a request from GAB for assistance from the DILG. And the objective was primarily to, well, at first, to close down the bookie joints because as per reports of our horse racing division, the underground betting in horse racing is almost the same or a little less than the actual reported gross betting in the industry, Your Honor. So if only the bookie joints do not exist or are not operating, we might as well be able to almost double the gross income of the government to around 14 billion pesos annually, Your Honor. And as of now, we already have the names of the deputies that we will be deputizing so that they can represent the GAB and the DILG in the prosecution, Your Honor.
Ang tanong, what is the wisdom behind forming an anti-gambling task force sa GAB kung inherent naman ito sa mandate ng PNP? Hindi ba duplication yon? So, can you respond to that?
Well, Your Honor, based on
And if you had, say, 14, 13 PNCOs, 1 or 2 officers, what can you do to accomplish a seemingly very big, very challenging task?
we agree with the observation of the chairman, Your Honor, because this is also the mandate of the law enforcement officers who will be detailed to GAB. And I would suggest, Your Honor, that this is for us to be able to focus on the bookie joints and all the other gambling activities that are related to the mandate of GAB or those that will affect the gross sales of the agency, Your Honor.
Attorney, yung mga inaaresto nyo, are these games competing with your own operation or lahat ng illegal gambling hinuhuli nyo?
During the period that I described, Your
Kagaya
Honor.
po yung video karera, I don't think that's competing with GAB.
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
mean, I'm not saying na it's legal, no? I'm just saying, how do you delineate your function versus the local policemen who actually are tasked to arrest and confiscate video carrera?
I think, Your Honor, during the time, the thinking was that anything gambling, illegal gambling, is under the jurisdiction of the IGU, because as they investigate, for example, for bookie joints, it's impossible for them not to see all the other gambling activities there. And they are also PNP personnel, so I guess that was the thinking at that time. But as I answered a while ago, Your Honor, my belief is that it will be those activities that that are competing directly or indirectly with the gross income of GAB. The mandate of GAB, Your Honor, with respect to amusements are cockfighting, international derby. Yes, Your Honor. And then high alay under the old law is still under the... Well, Your Honor, as insofar as high alay is concerned, our position has been that there should be no high alay in the general territory. Yes, Your Honor, in Cagayan, Your Honor, Cagayan, CESA.
Pero that's under the charter of CESA. CESA has its own charter, di ba?
Yes,
So
Your
you cannot consider that illegal
Yes, Your Honor.
unless ma-amend yung charter ng CESA, hindi pwedeng high alay, then it becomes illegal. Aside from yung sa CESA, meron pa bang high alay?
We have reports, unconfirmed reports, Your Honor, that there is high alay being
So, okay, tupada, high alay, and then
horse racing. Your
horse
Honor.
racing.
Sports betting is under PAGCOR. Your Honor.
Pagkor. Horse racing, meron bang illegal horse racing? Bookies.
The bookie joints, Your Honor.
Bookie joints. Ano, prevalent pa rin ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor. According to PhilRacom themselves, the
Yeah.
people at PhilRacom.
So what else? So that's 3. Ano pa? Tupada, high alay, horse racing. What else?
That's with respect to amusements, Your Honor.
So
That's-
ito lang yung i-cover nyo doon sa task force or task group na i-create with the assistance of the PNP. Ito lang yung i-address ninyo. The rest, iwanan natin sa Philippine National Police as part of their regular law enforcement functions.
I believe so, Your
Tama
Honor. The focus will have to be those three activities.
Yung SESA na pag-uusapan to this past few days, Mr. Chair, kagaya niyang high alay, the high alay is in SESA, but they can take bets outside of SESA?
No, Your Honor. The franchise of, the permit of CESA from GAB, which is for the sporting aspect, is that they will conduct their games within the zone.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. But as the
Yung pagtataya,
pagtataya, we did not give them any permit to take bets outside of Cagayan.
so they can only bet within SESA.
Yes, Your Honor. At
So
least
kung
that's
meron
the-
kaming nakitang, parang meron yatang, alam ko may mga tinatayong high alay, but the high alay, they accept bets outside of SESA, but the high alay is inside SESA.
Yung game proper, nasa loob.
Oo.
Pero ang betting happens outside of CESA.
What we permitted, Your Honor, is the gaming inside, but not the
Televised,
betting outside.
Televised, so ang betting sa labas, ang ginagamit na monitor yung television.
We also have unconfirmed reports of that, Your Honor. However, there is an existing case between GAB and CESA, GAB and Meridian, CESA and Meridian, DOJ / DILG and Meridian. And because of that, I think the PNP was ordered to cease from stopping the operations of Meridian. But there was
From
a TRO,
operating.
there was a TRO, Your Honor, against the PNP. That's the last update that I got from the OSG, that the police cannot operate against the Meridian operations. So, but as far as GAB is concerned, Your Honor, our position has always been that the operations inside CESA is legal, but we have not permitted them to take bets outside CESA through off-fronton stations, Your Honor.
Diyan is the company that accepts bets. Tama ba yun?
Meridian is the company that we authorize to operate their high alay off-fronton, high alay fronton in CESA, Your Honor.
But ang tanong ko lang, can they accept bets outside of CESA?
That company that we authorize cannot, Your Honor.
But you said there's a case ngayon.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
there's a
they can
case.
continue to operate while the case is there. This is outside of CESA.
Outside CESA, Your Honor.
Ganun ba ho ang legal
Well,
status?
I don't know
ngayon?
if we can call it they can operate. But the update that was given by OSG to me was that there's a TRO.
No, ang ano
So,
ko kasi,
they cannot
paano kung,
be-
for example, pumunta ho sila sa isang city, nag-apply. Bibigyan ba ho ng city sila ng business permit to operate?
I would not have any legal opinion on that, Your Honor, because our position is that outside it should not be.
Yeah, but you will put the LGUs in a predicament.
Your
So,
Honor, yes.
Kawawa naman ng LGU kasi papakita nila ito yung galing sa GAB, oh. So, anong position ng LGU ngayon?
I
Baka
think
sila naman ma-ombudsman.
a few years ago, Your Honor, the DOJ and the DILG came
So,
up.
what's the position of GAB? Yun ang importante.
Yes, Your Honor. The position of GAB is that they are not allowed to take bets outside. But your concern, Your Honor, was addressed by the DILG and DOJ when I think 2012 they came up with a resolution and even a department circular directing all the local government units from or preventing the local government units from issuing permits
Ah, okay.
and directing the DOJ to prosecute. And this was what was the subject of the injunction, Your Honor. This particular resolution was stopped by the
So ang
Court of
subject ng
Appeals.
injunction ng TRO, not only yung PNP from operating against,
Yes, Your Honor.
but pati yung DILG sa DOJ from what?
I will have to check the specific wording, Your Honor, but
Like sinabi mo kanina, kasi nagkaroon ng circular yung, joint circular yung DOJ and DILG to stop issuing permits. Pero sabi mo, nagkaroon ng TRO rin So inaalaw ngayon, prevented yung local government units from not issuing permits. Kasi yun ang subject ng injunction, sabi mo kanina, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the
So
subject
they
of
continue
injunction.
to issue permits, business permits.
I have no personal knowledge of that, whether they are continuing, Your Honor.
Anyway, PCSO, sige tayo. Para pag-aralan natin yung charter ninyo,
Yes, sir.
can you draft a legislative proposal na pwede namin gawing bill to amend the charter of the PCSO? It's an 80-year-old charter. Tapos kasi nakikita ko, binibigyan nyo ng share ang PNP.
Yes, sir.
Even congressmen, di ba? Congressional districts eh. Ang tanong doon, what's the basis in law na makapagbigay kayo ng share sa PNP? I'm not against it, dahil sila yung nag-ooperate. Pero dapat merong batas to cover yung action ninyo na giving shares to congressional districts, local government units, and the PNP units. Not to the directors, hindi ba? Hindi
Yes.
man to sa mga tao eh.
Yes, sir.
Pupunta ito sa unit. So, kindly,
Sure.
paki-enlighten mo nga kami kung ano yung kalakaran doon.
Okay. Good morning, Your Honors. First, Chairman Corpus and GM Balutan send their regrets because they have a prior commitment in Malacanang. So, regarding the...
Hindi naman Miss Universe lang yan, ha?
No, sir, it's...
Tapos sa hearing, Secretary Aguirre, sabi niya, I have to leave. I have to go to Malacanang. Yung pala, Miss Universe.
it's actually...
I'm just-
So the launching of the expanded STL. Okay, with regard to Senate Bill number 909, we fully support the effort of the Senate to combat the proliferation of illegal gambling because, of course, the intensified law enforcement activity against illegal gambling will be beneficial to PCSO and which will allow us to raise more revenues for PCSO for charity purposes. As you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, the charter of PCSO is already 82 years old, and our mandate is to exclusively hold and conduct charity sweepstakes races, lotteries, and other game activities. So, specifically for the Senate Bill number 909, we respectfully propose that PCSO be specifically mentioned in Section 3A, stating that government agencies authorized to license, regulate, and operate games of chance, games of cards, and games of numbers include PCSO, because it only specifically mentioned Philippine PAGCOR, Philippine Racing Commission, and other regulatory bodies. Okay. With regard to the question of Mr. Chairman a while ago, the operation of STL is being conducted with STL accredited, authorized agent corporations of PCSO, which are only 18 corporations. And in September 2016, Mr. Chairman, PCSO is earning 421 million monthly from these 18 corporations. But when the new administration came in, when the new management came in, under Chairman Corpus and GM Balutan, the policy direction is to increase revenues through STL. And so they approved the increased presumptive monthly retail receipts from these 18 corporations. Hence, from 421 million in September, PCSO is now receiving, starting October 2016, 900 million monthly.
That's how much per year? 900.
Yes, sir. But, yes, sir. Based on the guidance and policy direction of the new administration, PCSO has to raise more funds. And based on coordination with Executive Secretary Medjaldea, Secretary Aguirre, and Secretary of Finance, PCSO expanded the STL operations nationwide. And that's what's being launched today in Malacanang. Now there are 56 corporations, and if all those corporations will submit post approval requirements and pay the appropriate fees, PCSO will be earning around 27 billion annually.
Which is the projected
Yes.
income, based
Yes.
on 56 franchise holders and based on, ano pa ibang studies involved dito? Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, if we compare the actual, yung real collection, kung
Yes.
weteng, malayo pa rin eh.
Yes, sir.
So, malaki pa rin nawawala sa PCSO.
Because we started, Your Honor, with 18 corporations. We are hoping to launch yung 56 corporations and start their operation in February 2016. And 2017, and there is an instruction to accept more applicants to cover the operations nationwide and to eliminate illegal gambling in said areas.
Anong klaseng vetting ang ginagawa ninyo pagka nag-screen kayo ng applicants? Kasi most of these operators are actually gambling operators, di ba? Baka naman they're forming several corporations, pero pag tinignan mo sa taas, isa lang din yung gambling operator na naglagay down ng mga dami members ng board ng corporation. Meron ba kayong betting dyan?
We have all the
Due diligence?
we have all the criteria set there, and there is an evaluation, a point system, rating system, and due diligence being conducted by yung intel nung...
For example, how many corporations are associated with Bong Pineda? How many corporations are associated with Tony Santos?
Mr. Chairman, I do not have personal
How
knowledge, but
many corporations are associated with Gonzales?
I believe our intel have already submitted their report to the chair and the GM.
Kasi anong tawag sa corporation pagka yung collusive yung interlocking. Baka sila rin ganun pa rin ang suma total niyan, di ba? If you want to expand, then expand by all means. Pero spread the sunshine, ika nga. Baka all roads lead to Bong Pineda, all roads lead to Gonzales, all roads lead to Tony Santos. Baka ganun din yung usapan. Ang masama doon kasi pagka-organized masyado na dating illegal gambling operators or illegal or betting operators, ano na yun deeply entrenched na yan sa local.
Yes.
Matagal na nilang kilala yung mayor, yung governor, yung PD, yung RD. So, ang danger doon, baka magkaroon ng collusion, hindi mag-operate yung PNP, hindi pa operate ng mayor. Minsan, maski gusto ng PNP mag-operate, ayaw ng mayor, ayaw ng governor. Tapos tatakutin na i-relieve dahil pinapayagan mag-guerrilla. Di ba? So, nawawalan, PCSO.
Yes, sir. Sir, in relation to the launching of the expanded
Yeah.
STL, PCSO also entered into a MOA with PNP on November 22, 2016.
Yeah, okay lang yung MOA. Ang problema ko nga doon, kung yung pa rin ang mga dating mga antigong gambling operators, kausap na rin nila talaga yung maski maski may bagong regional director na ma-assign doon, yung mga subalterns doon, yung mga subordinate officers, naka-entrenched na So baka magkaroon ng collusion, payagan mo kami, gagamitin namin yung ID ng PCSO, STL operator, pero actually hindi namin i-remit yan. Pero may share ka rito. Kaya nga ang liit ng share ng PCSO na kukuha because of that collusion. Di ba? Pero kung mag-expand kayo, at meron namang knowledge yung bibigyan ng license, for
Yes.
example. Isipin, mas matino sigurong makipag-usap sa PCS yun kesa doon sa mga antigo na illegal wetting, yung mga wetting operators. Hindi po ba, Secretary? Galing po kayo sa local government. Although wala namang wetting doon sa area nyo doon sa Mindanao, mostly in Luzon, but now that you're Secretary of the DILG, I suppose nakakarating din sa inyo yung mga reports na may collusion not only with the PNP leadership, not leadership sa krame, pero yung local PNP. Tapos kausap pa yung governor sa mayor, naloko na. So, isa na lang pag-uusapan doon. Magkano lang ba ang ating i-remit sa PCSO? Magkano yung sa labas? Ito yung paghahati-hati na. Mas malaki yung... kaya nga sabi ko, I'm not against at all. Doon nabigyan ng PCSO ng share, yung law enforcement, yung local... After all, gagamitin nila sa charity yan eh.
Yes, sir.
Kaya importante din ma-revisit yung charter. Huwag na lang nating i-limit sa charity. Kasi yun ang justification doon sa
Yes.
revised IRR, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Dahil, kaya nga Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, wala kayong ibang pagkakagastusan. As a matter of fact, 30%
Yes.
of your proceeds, of your income,
Go
charity,
to
hindi ba?
charity, to the charity fund.
55% yung prices and then yung 15% remaining, yung operations.
Yes, sir.
So, baka pwedeng i-revisit natin para ma-justify natin na yung PNP at saka yung local government units, walang problema sa local government units
Yes.
kasi they can always use that sa charity, madaling justify.
For health and medical purposes only.
Sa revised IRR yun,
Yes,
di ba? Pero yung PNP, hindi naman sila kasama sa charity. Lalo yung congressman. Paano mag-implement yung congressman ng charity related activities? Wala, hindi ba? So we cannot justify. So I'm saying this para ma-contribute kung ano man yung proposed legislation natin to amend the charter, medyo expand na natin yung coverage, not just for charity. No?
Okay.
So, hindi naman tayo nagiging parang against City Hall dito. Gusto rin natin tumulong. Ilagay lang natin sa ayos, ilagay natin sa legal.
Yes,
Diba?
sir.
So, the more or the earlier we enact a law to amend the charter, the better. Not only for PCSO, but for everybody.
Okay, sir.
Tulad yun, may share yung congressman. Eh baka sabihin ng senador, bakit kami, wala kami share dyan? Di ba? No, that's just in jest.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Attorney, kanina na you mentioned to include PCSO in Section 3A, of which those are the organizations exempting or issuing license that will ultimately exempt that particular game as illegal. Tama po ba? Gusto ko lang malaman because we identified dito ho yung mga popular illegal gambling that is present nationwide. Alin ba dito ho ang alin ba ho dito sa mga games are competing with PCSO? For example,
Are
po, the
competing.
reason why we put PAGCOR and GAB, because yung Tupada, which is under the mandate of GAB, is directly in competing with the derbies. But in terms of the reason why we took out PCSO is because we don't know which ones of these are directly competing with you.
Okay, because we interpreted this, Mr. Senator, in relation to the original law. And so, Weteng and Mashaw are still included, which
Okay.
directly competes with
With
PCSO.
With PCSO. Sige. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Sandra Cam, welcome. Ano bang, ikaw, what can you contribute to humanity? Give us your inputs, especially sa illegal numbers game, dahil diyan naman tayo nagkakilala, di ba, doon sa, sa wedding ng araw. Senate hearings din.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning po sa lahat. Ang ano ko lang po doon sa, ang take ko po doon sa, ng PCSO. We're talking about PCSOs here, right? PCSO is supposed to be charity. Ang nangyayari ngayon, nagkakaroon na tayo ng bidding sa PCSO, which is not supposed to be. Nagbibigay ang PCSO, nagbibigay ang STL, I'm referring to STL, kasi binibid ngayon ng PCSO sa mga operators na ang totoo niyan are also gambling lords, mga wetting operators ito noon. May mga pangalan lang na ginagamit para sa what you call this, STL. Itong STL is actually a legalized wetting. At yan po, sinasabi ko rin kay Presidente, na kahit sinong iupo nyo sa PCSO, kung STL ay mamamayagpag, walang mangyayari sa revenue ng gobyerno. Kasi nga po, yung sa ngayon, itong ngayon, pinapabid ng PCSO ang STL operations. At ang nangyayari, short change pa rin ang gobyerno. PCSO, I repeat, is for charity. Hindi ito for LGUs, police, mga congressmen na binibigyan ng part of the STL operation. Kaya po sana, sir, you're my boss in here, mabago na po sana ang charter ng ating PCSO. Yun lang po.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying kanina. Ang tanong, I have question pa rin sa inyo. Meron ba kayong point of sale machines installed para ma-monitor nyo talaga kung magkano yung nakokolekta as against sa nire-remit?
Right now, sir, we only have point-of-sale machines in Lotto and Kino.
Pero wala sa STL.
Not yet, sir. It's not yet
Pero it's
being
inyo,
implemented.
nakaprogram sa inyo ito,
Yes, sir.
nalagyan. Mag-i-increase bigla yung revenues ninyo. Kasi ngayon, mano-mano, di ba? At saka parang
PMRR.
yun, di ba? Para bang presumptive. Ang sunod na tanong ko, meron kayong projection na 27.6 billion
Yes,
based
sir.
doon sa expansion na nilolons ngayon. Anong pinagugutan nyo doon sa, how did you come up with that figure, 27.6? What's the basis?
It's based on the offer of PMRR of various corporations approved. It's the
So,
presumptive monthly retail receipts.
Unilateral ito? Wala kayong sariling
No, sir.
study?
We have baseline and said amount should be, and the offer of the corporations should be more than the prescribed PMRR of PCSO
Alam nyo,
for a certain area.
kung mag-all out lang yung PNP saka yung LGU na mag-cooperate with PCSO, tataas ang revenues ninyo.
Yes, we believe so. That's why, sir, we
Ang
are,
problema nga, kung may collusion between or among yung police, LGUs, and yung operators, di ba? Sabi ko, hanggat maaari, maiwasan na yung mga antigong operators na naandyan dahil sila yung talagang mahusay makipag-usap sa police at saka mahusay makipag-usap sa mga governors, mayors. So, i-expand nyo na rin lang. I-expand nyo na talaga na in the real sense of the word, di ba?
yes, sir.
Now, how do you distinguish STL collectors from yung wetting cobradors? Ano distinguishing marks niyan ng dalawa para makilala? Halimbawa, yung police, na-assign sa probinsya, may nangongolekta. Kasi yung STL operator o yung collector, they're also using, o yung cobrador, they're also using STL IDs, di ba? Pero yung kanilang kinokolekta, kasi nga, ano to kubrahansa pa rin yung hawak pa rin yung papel. Kasi ito yung nakagisnan na ng mga kababayan natin. Parang ang tiwala na nila doon sa kobrador ng weteng kasi maski walang pinirmahan, pagdating ng hapon, bumabalik doon sa nagbet at binibigay yung tama. Ito na yung nakagisnan. So, how would you handle that? Yung one, parang dalawa yung personalidad niya. He is a cobrador for the, tawagin natin bookies or yung guerrilla type. Siya pa rin yung collector na merong STL ID. So siya na kukuha ng instruction yon doon sa operator na ang ipasok lang natin sa PCSO this much, pero yung iba dito mo dalhin yan. How would you address that?
Actually, sir, we based on our IRR, there is actually an entire system dun sa branch. So there is parang draw court where the draws are being done. It's being announced and published there. So the people who are operating cabos and cobradores are all in uniform and they have their IDs. The names are submitted to PCSO, and right now, all names that are submitted to PCSO, the cabos and cobradores, will also be furnished to PNP.
Now, how will you ensure that all the collections are remitted to PCSO? Na walang lalabas, walang leakage? Na yung ibang collection, binibigay sa kanyang operator sa labas. At ang nire-record lang, yung pang-remit sa PCSO. Kaya ang laki ng leakage eh. How would you monitor that efficiently?
Right now, sir, we rely on the papelitos being issued by PCSO and the presumptive monthly retail receipts.
So nag-put up na lang kayo ng threshold.
Yes, sir.
Ito, come up with this or else your license will be revoked.
Yes, sir. Which was
Okay din
doubled
yun.
anyway.
Basta't accurate lang yung inyong threshold, yung
Yes, sir.
estimate ninyo.
Yes,
Kasi
sir.
kung nag-rely din kayo sa submission noong yung mga franchise holders, yung mga corporation, sila rin ang nasunod.
No, sir. In fact, as I have mentioned, in September 2006, during the previous administration, the PMRR that was set resulted in the income of 421 million. As soon as the new management came in, they increased the PMRR, and based on that, the monthly income is now 900 million, which is set to increase upon the approval of these 56 corporations.
And kontento na kayo ron sa 27.6
No, sir, it's an ongoing,
monitoring.
yes, sir. So the board's just allowing new corporations to come in and operate, and then later on, we will set another benchmark based on the study and the reports from PNP.
Yes. Secretary, can we have your thoughts on this? Yung the whole,
Yeah.
yung ating topic ngayon tig-usap.
Yeah, Mr. Your Honor, can we get back to your previous question? Why is PCSO giving share to LGU and congressmen, di ba? Anong basis? Can we get back to that question before I...
Please respond.
This was based on the 2014 STL IRR to prevent the the STL operators from giving directly to the politicians and the policemen, which encourages corruption. So what we are giving to PNP and the local government units are being charged against the charity fund of PCSO for health and medical and other welfare benefits.
Anong other pong basis? Anong legal basis is there revised IRR?
At saka,
Saan nanggaling yung revised RRR? Anong basis in law? Kasi hindi naman pwedeng, di ba, yung water cannot rise above its source, di ba? May panggagalingan.
Yes, sir. It was, I believe, our previous board patterned it before the the share that we are now giving the different LGUs who are operating the lotto. That's an executive order. I do not remember.
Attorney, we're not trying to put you on the spot here.
Yes,
We're
sir.
trying to solve a problem.
Yes, sir.
Meron tayong positive yung linya natin dito.
Yes, sir.
Para, mabuti nga dito si Secretary para mapag-usapan natin mabuti. Ano ba yung ikagaganda ng yung sa PCSO, sa LGU?
I understand, Your Honor. When the lotto was launched, there were several local government units who were not supportive of it. And so later on, a legislation was passed. It's an executive order giving shares to local government units as part of it's called lotto share to LGUs who are operating lotteries in their specific areas. So every semester, PCSO give to these LGUs. So binibigay po yun sa kanila 10% of what's being earned. Executive order, there is po. We give it to
Who signed
the LGUs.
administration? Tito, 1997. So, KFBR,
Executive order
357.
357 and as amended by 357E. Yes, sir. We give to LGUs and they receive it from us. All areas where lotto are being conducted. So they get 10% of the charity fund of the sales from that area.
Ano yung sharing scheme dito? Ano yung mga ilang percent ang pupunta sa PNP, ilang percent sa LGU? Di ba, separate pa yung governor, mayor?
Yes, sir, but
wala kang-
I'm sorry, I do not have the IRR right now.
Attorney, that goes to the LGU, not to the
No,
mayors
sir.
and governors personally.
No, sir, because the government agency will have to issue an
So, and
official
then the
receipt.
sanggunian will reappropriate it.
Yes, sir.
Tama, no?
Yes, sir. It will be placed in a trust fund for charity purposes.
So you're remitting it to the municipal treasurer?
Yes, sir.
You're remitting it to the provincial treasurer?
Yes, who issue an official receipt.
Sa
To P-
congressman,
to
kanin yun
PCSO.
nare-remit? Wala namang congressman's treasurer?
I will have to confirm, Your Honor.
Walang treasurer. Sariling treasurer.
Thank you.
Walang specific purpose ba yung share na going to the province and to the municipality?
There is po, only for health and medical related services. According for the PCSO charter.
Only for health.
So it's only being charged against the charity fund of PCSO.
Do you exercise oversight? Meaning, okay, nag-remit kayo, say, nagbigay kayo ng 5 million sa provincial government of so-and-so province, ano? Minomonitor nyo how the 5 million was spent at the end of, say, a period. Bahala na sila doon.
I will have to check from our internal audit, sir.
Or bahala na yung COA. Pero I doubt kung nare-report pa ito.
Let me go back to the legislative branch. No? It makes sense sa LGU dahil meron silang municipal treasurer. Kami ni Baham, nag-congressman kami. How do you issue the check directly to the congressman, or how do they disperse the funds, and what accountability?
I will have to verify it, sir, from our
Magkano ang
accounting
anong
department.
portion po ang pupunta sa congressman?
Now po, I was given a copy of the IRR, and for the congressional district is 0.25% of 29.40%.
0.25%.
0.25% of the charity fund, which is 29.40%.
No, I don't. Hindi ko lang alam anong legal mechanism ang gagamitin ninyo to. I'm not sure lang, no. And have you ever dispersed anything already to the legislative districts in the past? May disbursement na ba ho yan?
I believe so, sir, because
So anong experience ng PCSO kung may disbursement? Sino ang tumatanggap on their behalf?
that's where I have to clarify with the accounting department.
Itong breakdown no? City, municipality, 3%. Congressional district, 0.25%. I suppose from gross ito, di ba?
From 25%
Of
of 30% of the charity fund.
29.4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 0.25% of 29.4%. Provincial government, 0.75%. Philippine National Police, 2.5%. That was broken down into the following. National NHQ, 0.40. Police Regional Office, 0.4. Police Provincial, 0.6. Local Police Station, 0.6. CIDG National, 0.2. CIDG Regional, 0.2. CIDG Provincial, 0.1. Ba't hindi kasali yung iba? Ba't puro CIDG ito? Paano yung IG? Yung IG, sila yung nagmo-monitor, intelligence, mga intelligence units sa ground. No. Ha? And one other thing do sa charter, alam mo, natatad na ng special laws, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Yung earmarks,
Yes, sir.
wala nang naiwan sa PSA. So that's
Yes.
another reason why we should amend the charter. So effectively, we can amend o parang render invalid yung mga special laws. Ang daming shares eh.
Thank you, sir. We
Hindi lang
welcome
po
that.
talaga, abonado pa kayo kung tutuusin, di ba?
Yes, sir. Marami po kaming utang dun sa
Ah.
mga beneficiaries namin.
How many agencies? Gab yata kasama ron eh. PSC.
Sa ano po kami, sa General Appropriation.
Si General.
Although
Philippine
yung bagong
Philippine
commission
Sports.
na tinatayo, na gusto itayo, galing din po yata sa PCSO, manggagaling.
That's one other compelling reason. Kasi kami na nagpasa ng batas, no? Na nagkaroon ng earmarks from PCSO, even from PAGCOR. Eh siyempre, naipasa yung batas, obligado kayong mag-comply sa batas.
Yes, sir.
Di ba sobra na doon sa ano nyo?
Yes, sir. Kaya, sir, we
Ilang percent lang?
pay in installment our mandatory contribution.
Ito. 15. Yeah. 15 agencies. Mandatory contributions. 6 sweepstakes draws as contribution to the Philippine Sports Commission program. 1% of Lotto gross sales to the Commission on Higher Education. Yeah. Tapos, meron pang Comprehensive and Integrated Shelter and Urban Development Planning Program. National Shelter Program, meron. That's 10%. Omnibus Rules provides for the appropriation of 10 million to the Shared Government SGISM under the Department of Foreign Affairs. Pati DFA, meron pala dito. Migrant Workers, 150 million. Crop Insurance, 10%. 100 million sa Quirino Memorial Medical Center. Ang dami nito. So pag tinotal mo lahat ito, talagang magkakautang kayo kasi hindi nyo kayang i-remit, di ba?
Yes, sir.
So magkano utang nyo dito sa mga agencies ngayon? Ilang bilyon?
I do not have the figure right now, Mr. Senator.
Sige, Secretary.
Sige po. I'm sorry, I'm still new to this job. Ano? I'm still new to waiting and to gambling. I don't indulge in any gambling at all. Pero when I sat down as Secretary of the ILG, may narinig ako na may butas na 3. At saka yung butas na 3, hinuhulugan talaga ito. I don't know what amount. And one of the butas belongs to the Secretary or to the ILG. Pero up to now, I have not received any single centavo, although I was encouraged by several to accept So, up to now, I have not accepted any. Although there are reports na sinasabi na nagre-receive ako dahil kinukuha yung nasa butas. May kumukubra. I'm trying to find out kung sino yung kumukubra. But
Yung
to tell
pangalawang
you-
butas po.
Ha?
Yung pangalawang butas.
Hindi ko po alam yung pangalawang at pangatlong butas, no? Pero baka alam nyo po, Your Honor. No? So, anyway, really, I have not received any centavo. Although may mga report na nagre-receive ang SILG, no? So, okay. At saka, isa pa, yung we had a meeting with GAP before, no, I think it was last month. So you ask our help, no, kung pwede we will organize a group na galing sa PNP to help you implement itong rules on illegal gambling or paghuli ng mga illegal gamblers. No? Pero tinatanong ko nga si General Ubusan, so kung 14 lang ang hinihingi, baka hindi kaya 14 maski sa Metro Manila, baka it's very small number. So, since the PNP is also tasked to arrest all illegal gamblers, why don't we coordinate na lang with the entire PNP to task them to arrest all illegal gamblers, no? So that marami tayo. Kasi I was also one na baka kung dali namin yung mga tao namin doon, baka yung 14 na ilagay namin, they will be caught up in the system. They will be influenced by the system. No? So, instead na may become collectors. So, yun ang
Tawag po doon, Secretary, kakainin ng sistema.
yeah. They will be eaten up by the system. So, so ang ginagawa na lang namin, but we are deciding to do and is to strengthen our OIS on intelligence gathering. Intelligence na lang po kami sa yung Office of the Internal Security. We will do intelligence work, also arrest those. We are really thinking of what to do with the policemen who are into drugs, into syndicates, no? How do we police the police? Kasi when I go around, there are many complaints that there are still many policemen who are involved in drugs and in several syndicates. So I brought out this matter with the Chief PNP. I also told him, si Senator Lacson would like to talk to us, no, what to do in cleaning the ranks of the PNP. So anyway, we decided to I think one of these days we will ask you to sit down with us. No? So, but anyway, the Chief PNP has decided that we will strengthen the OIC. So on my part, as SILG, we are strengthening the Office of the Internal Security. So we will not only go into intelligence work on drugs, on other syndicates, but also in other syndicates, including gambling. So maybe I will talk this over again with the GAB. No? So in this case, since we are not receiving anything, no? Ako personally, I am against receiving, or just like you, maybe
We believe you, sir.
maybe sinusunod ko lang po kayo. You are also my idol kasi hindi kayo tumatanggap ng yun sa Senado, yung PDAF, no, pork barrel. At saka very kayo, ang strong-willed sa pork barrel in the budget. Baka nahihirapan din ang ibang mga senators at saka congressmen sa'yo dahil hinahanap mo talaga yung pork barrel sa budget. No? So, that's why, magaling kayo, you are an idol. No? So, kaya dito, you will expect that the or the country will expect that the DILG will really go against gambling dito sa bansa. No? So, at saka si Senator Gatchalian, he has mentioned some LGUs who have the best practices in curbing illegal gambling in their localities. No? So, siguro I will ask him kung sino pa ito, which you mentioned dalawa, Inabutas at saka Valenzuela. So we will ask them what they do in curbing illegal gambling in their locality. So, I'm learning, I am being educated by all these activities. No? I'm still new to this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Secretary, thank you for sharing with us your strategy. Over the past 6 months, talagang the message against illegal drugs is loud and clear. No? Talagang it was approached with tenacity and determination. However, yung illegal gambling was really something that is quite not as loud, no? Compared to illegal drugs. But kanina ho, narinig ko po na there's a strategy in place. But one thing for sure that I think ito, no, nakikita ko, and I think it's a practical problem, no, because yung mga natatanggap po from illegal gambling ng ating mga LGUs and policemen, no, with all due respect, talagang napakalaki. The temptation is heavy, no, and alam naman natin it can easily double, sometimes triple, no, even more, no, according to Senator Lacson, their salaries. So without addressing this practical issue, talagang we're facing against a tough enemy. Meron ba ho tayong way to address this issue of combating temptation and combating, addressing the practicalities of this issue?
Alam niyo po, baka sa mga older members of the PNP, baka wala na tayong magawa or there is little we can do. Kasi I remember when I was mayor, may mga old policemen at saka yung mga young policemen. Yung mga old policemen, talagang hindi mo na makambyo yung isip. Sabi ko, kailan pa kaya mamatay itong lahat o magre-retire para yung mga bagong policemen na pwede natin pang maano. So, right now, parang it still exists, this problem. So, what we are doing right now is we are working on the PPSC, Philippine Public Safety College, which handles the education of our cadets sa PNPA and our recruits in the regional, in the regions. No? So, I am hammering out on General De Leon. Ano ang ilagay natin sa curriculum para pag-graduate ng mga cadets natin or mga policemen natin in the regions that they will not become collectors. So, pinag-usapan namin dyan. So, ang sabi ng isa, we have to train our people to become professionals that if they graduate and their superiors tell them to collect, they will tell the collectors, no, it's not good that you assign me as collector. Kung if they insist, sabi namin, kung gusto mo, mag-retire na lang tayong dalawa. Kasi ang iba ng mga cadets, mga professor who are going to professionalize talaga ang PNPA, na baka ang iba sila mag-graduate as lawyers, no? Kasi parang ganyan. So, if they challenge the higher authority, na they retire. Anyway, ako, if we retire tayo, sir na lang kayo, mister na lang kayo, ako pa rin, nurse pa rin, o abogado na ako. So, we are trying to professionalize them para na yung value formation nila maganda. At saka I'm trying to ask them, paano ang ethics, paano ang morals? How can we introduce these subjects in the curriculum? It's just not a matter of memorizing yung mga places kung ano dyan, pero it's really in the curriculum na may subject on morals and ethics, no? So, o ma-internalize ng mga cadets natin. So, I think there is much we can do in the education muna. Kasi doon sa mga matanda na sa serbisyo na sanay na sa ganyang baka mahirapan tayo. So, that's why there are several syndicates, but that's why General Bato and me, we are talking of really strengthening the intelligence group in the PNP para ma-detect namin, para hindi na itong may patayan dyan sa loob ng krami, that we can detect that as soon as possible. No?
Mga operator, because talagang nag-umpisa ho yan sa operator eh. Kung wala pong babangka, wala pong mamumuhunan, no, hihinto ho to. But in my experience, no, ito mayroon talagang organized group who goes from one city to the other city. Kung pumayag si mayor, then he's in the take. Pag hindi pumayag, kay barangay. Pag hindi, kay COP. Pag hindi, guerrilla pa rin. Ano? So, I think I really commend the intelligence network, but after gathering those intelligence, the next thing is really to go after these operators. No? Kasi yung na-mention to be honest, yung na-mention ho kanina ni Chairman, narinig ko na ho yun nung bagong mayor pa ako noong 2004. Apparently, they're still in the business. No? So, business is thriving, business is lucrative. Baka after all of our political career, andito pa rin ho sila. So, I think it's really the same determination in fighting illegal drugs should be applied to this fighting illegal gambling.
You're right, no? Kasi very tempting talaga itong pera eh. Talagang very tempting. So,
Bibigay ka talaga dito.
I wish we have the determination of Senator Lacson to yung no-take, Senator, yung
Yeah,
policy
I
of
oppose that
no-take.
and really very strictly, and Roel should know this. Saan ka ba assign nun?
Sa civil security group, sir. And everybody followed your command naman. But it was really cut short, sir.
Yes. Talaga pag no take. And it should start from the top. And hindi naman to mutual admiration, Secretary, pero ito yung opportunity because you are there and General De La Rosa is there. Maganda starting point yun eh, because there's no substitute to leadership by example. In my book, it's second to none. Kasi how can you impose yung gusto mong ipatupad sa mga tao mo kung ikaw mismo nagbabiolate? So that's you being there and General De La Rosa, because I know him personally also. Kung dalawa standard, iba standard ng general, iba standard ng PO1. Dapat isa lang standard pagdating sa mga bagay na ganyan. Anyway, I'd like to point out that the President, no less, has declared that the next target of his anti-criminality effort is illegal gambling, di ba? Very recently, in-announce niya ito eh. So, hindi insignificant itong pag-uusapan natin. No? Maybe, in the eyes of some of our colleagues, kasi dalawa lang kami rito, siya nga kinulit niya ako na mag-hear actually, because he filed a bill increasing the penalties, and he reminded me kung pwedeng i-hear. And here we are now. And sabi ko, samantalahin na rin yung pagkakaton, hindi lang yung bill niya discuss, kundi pati yung charter ng PCSO. So, can you at least submit to us kung meron kayong proposal para we can, both of us can file a bill amending the charter. It's about time that we had a new charter. Kasi sabi nyo nga, 82 years old. Matanda pa sa amin dalawa ni Secretary Sueno yung charter. Tapos, yun pa yung ini-implement sa ngayon. So, and on that note, yes, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we're very grateful to the Secretary for detailing 14 PNP personnel to help us with the anti-illegal gambling operations. No? Mr. Chairman, we're in constant dialogue with the horse racing industry. We are besieged by a lot of requests. What are you doing? What are you doing? Andyan ang bukis ng karera. Andyan ang bukis ng karera. Mahal ang kabayo, ang liit ng premyo. kawawa naman kami. So, kami naman, well, we all know that it is part of the PNP task is to go after the anti-illegal, well, the bookies. Pero kami po yung nabubugbog kasi parang tinututukan kami ng horse racing industry, even the Philippine Racing Commission, o kayong nasa gambling side ng horse racing. Kaya kami po, on our own, we're doing our job. We asked the secretary for 14 people and we can, well, sa tingin po namin, matutukan po ng gambling at hindi po yun masuswalo ng system kasi po sinusunod natin yung policy ni Senator Lacson and of course ng ating presidente na ganun talaga, no take para wala talagang ano. And then, ang feeling po namin is pag inikutan yan dito sa Metro Manila, mag-gravitate din po yan sa mga ibang probinsya. So, from Metro Manila, pupunta sila sa ibang probinsya and then babalik-balikan nila dito. And with that, we will help the horse racing industry increase its revenues also to the national treasury kasi meron pong percentage dun sa bets ang napupunta po sa national treasury. And ano po medyo naano kami sa gap dahil parang kami yung meron kaming AO hindi po sorry to say pero hindi po namin nakikita kasi ang balita sa amin, may mga tao po ang GAP na nag-i-inspect ng mga off-track betting stations. One person for 2 or 3. Kaya ang sinasabi nila sa amin, katabi lang daw po noon, merong bookies. Kung, sorry to say, kung yung ibang kasama natin sa gobyerno ay nagtatrabaho, binabantayan nila yon, bakit nag-ooperate yon? Kaya po napipilitan kami on our own humingi po sa secretary at mabuti naman po pinagbigyan kami and we're hoping that in the next few weeks maumpisahan na po yan. Kasi kung iaasa mo sa local, why is it still operating? It has been operating, it is still operating and kahit pupuntahan ng AIGO yan, siguro in 2 weeks time baka lumipat lang yan. So babalik na naman yan. So it's we want to help the horse racing industry as well as the revenue generating measures of the president.
Sandra, if you were chairman of PCSO, what would you do differently to improve?
Eradicate first.
Hindi. First, of course, to increase the revenues, ano? And at the same time, kasi two-pronged ito eh. And one complements the other. Hindi increase yung revenue if you are lax in going after illegal gambling operators. Di ba? Magkasama lagi ito eh.
Well, ang una ko pong gagawin is eradicate the territorial gambling lords. Kasi yan ang nakakasakit ng ulo natin.
How do you eradicate?
Well, magkaroon tayo ng kamay na bakal, kagaya mo.
Pero how do you eradicate?
Tanggalin ang STL.
Tanggalin. And in substitute, ano yung substitute mo sa STL?
Kasi ang STL, sir, sa totoo lang, sabi ko nga as early, kanina na short change ang gobyerno. Actually, hindi nasagot ng ating kagalang-galang na lawyers sa PCSO, yung utang ng PCSO sa tax. Tax alone, 2.6 billion ang utang ng PCSO sa taxes. Hindi mabayaran dahil short change tayo. I have ano ako ng homework ko, sir. At nakita ko na like for instance, Pampanga, 38 million a day ang gross. Opo. The real gross is 38 million. Pero dahil doon sa STL, under the gambling lords, 1.83 lang ang dinideclare. So makita natin kung magkano ang diferensya. Ang napapapunta lang actually sa PCSO is 0.633, which is 633,000.
Tama dito, 38 million per day.
Opo.
Sa gross, sa PCSO, 1.83. So,
Ang
napunta lang na actual, 0.633.
33, opo.
So, 633,000.
1,000 lang ang napapapunta sa PCSO. Ngayon, kung ang chairman ng PCSO ay talagang matigas at ang GM, palagay ko, sir, matitigil natin yan. Kasi, titigilan natin ang pagbibigay ng share sa, I'm talking about STL lang sir ha, para sa mga gobernador, congressman, mayor, sa mga pulis. Hindi dapat ang PCSO magbigay kasi nga charity lang, ang pure charity ang PCSO. Ang nangyayari ngayon, ang PCSO nagagamit ng mga governing boards, lalo pag malapit sa chairman, na gamitin ang STL kung voting. Kasi na-legalize lang naman yung voting through STL nung last administration lang po. So ngayon, sa panahon ng Duterte administration, dapat tanggalin yan. At yan po ang masasabi natin all-out war secretary against governing boards. Opo. Kung magagawa natin ang all-out war against God, kailangan din po natin matanggal itong mga territorial gambling lords. At alam niyo naman po kung sino-sino ang mga yon. Malaki po ang diferensya. Like for instance, sa Batangas, 30 million a day ang gross. 30 million. Yung PCSO, ang dinideclare lang ng STL under gambling lords is 1.6 million. Ang napapapunta sa PCSO na actual is only 400,000. Nakita mo, Honorable Secretary po, ang kaibahan. Kaya kung tayo ngayon ay namamayagpag sa illegal drugs, itong gambling kailangan talagang matutukan at kailangan matino at matigas din ang dibdib ng nasa PCSO leadership. Kasi mahirap yun. Bibigyan ka ng grandiya, bibigyan ka ka ng Land Cruiser. Siyempre, napapanganga ka. Ngayon, kung medyo malambot ka, bibigay ka. Pag nabigyan ka na yan, gigibin ka na sa lahat ng gustuhin ng mga gambling lords. Kaya kailangan talaga, sir, kagaya mo, Mr. Chairman.
Tingnan yung records, ha? Between 6 or 7 big provinces, nasa mga 76 million na yung per day, ha?
Yes.
Look, Tarlac, 10 million. Pampanga, including Angeles City, 38 million. Ito yung real gross, ha, sales, kung weteng, assuming walang STL. Bulacan, 20 million. Nueva Ecija, 20 million. Laguna, including San Pablo City, 28 million. Quezon and Batangas, 30 million each. So ito lang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 big provinces so far as sweating operations. Ano na? We're talking 176 million per day times 365 days. Kasi wala naman pahinga tong wedding eh. Walang Sundays and holidays ito eh. So, paki-compute mo, 176 times 365 days a year. Eh kung leap year pa, 366. Malaki yan. Yan ang potential na dapat makuha ng PCSO.
Ang ano dyan, sir, ang...
64B.
Yes.
We're only talking of 7 provinces. Eh, ang coverage ninyo, ilan yung nabigyan nyo ng franchise? How many provinces?
56 yan.
Per corporation, isang province, ganun ba yun?
Yes, sir.
So 56 provinces out of 81 provinces.
Yes, sir.
So 7 lang.
We will be adding more, including in the chartered cities.
So, yeah.
Mr. Chair, from what I hear nga, kanina 9 provinces, 64B. Kahapon dun sa hearing natin, si Mr. Lam, di nagbayad ng 13B. That's already more or less 80B. Eh, hindi na ho tayo dapat magtaas ng excise fuel dahil 200B lang ho yun eh. So, just collecting properly from illegal gambling, from the online betting, you don't need to punish the Filipino people by raising excise tax. No? So, napaka ano po pala, laking industriya ho ito, Mr. Chair.
And on a final note, siguro we should close this hearing with a message from the chair. Siguro let's crack our heads together. The ILG, PNP, GAB, PCSO, get our acts together para kung paano natin ma-improve yung situation. And let's start. Simultaneous naman, hindi naman pwedeng hintayin pa yung batas. Let's start with amending the charter. Of course, it will not deter naman what you're doing right now, all the reforms that you're undertaking. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Majority Leader, Senator Soto. Pag-usapan namin yung wetting dito eh. Kaya, hindi, STL. Actually, naman eh, may STL. And we're trying to figure out how PCSO can improve yung revenues, which can also, of course, as a matter of course, yung charity at saka yung health benefits, matutulungan din. And mabawasan din yung corruption sa PNP kung institutionalize natin by way of a law yung kanilang share. No? Na sa ganon, kasi alam mo, unang ginagamit na dahilan ng PNP, alam din ni Roel to, walang operational funds. So, doon nagsisimula eh. Tapos lalapitan ng gambling lord, wala kaming panggasolina, wala kaming MOE, kulang. Doon nagsisimula. And then, nakatikim na, teka muna, bakit puro serbisyo na lang? Paano naman ako? So, and talagang yung stakes are very high. Sabi ko nga, magkanong regional director sa Region 3 ngayon?
2 million.
During my time, ang narinig ko noon, nasa 3 million umaabot yung Of course, the more nagiging strict yung PNP, tumataas yung offer eh. It's a given. Ang malungkot niyan, si Secretary pala may tinatanggap, hindi niya alam. Kasama siya sa butas. Majority Leader, pero walang dumarating sa kanya. Pero kasama siya sa kwentada. Yun ang mahirap. Anyway, the floor is yours, Senator.
No, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm just here to listen. We have another ongoing hearing, but I heard that you were conducting a hearing about this, so I was quite interested to listen for a while.
And
Thank you very much.
never too late. Thank you for providing the quorum. Now, officially, we have a quorum. So, pwede nang gawing official lahat yung proceeding kanina.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator, as I was saying, yon. Mag-start na lang tayo to get our acts together and crack our heads together and come up with a better PCSO charter with more efficient collection and better charity contribution.
Mr. Chairman, ngayon ko lang nakita yung kahalagaan, the importance of coming up with laws. So the importance was the Senate and the Congress. Kasi ito yung mga laws na maraming maraming defects, dapat i-amend yan ng Senate o Congress. Kagabi kasi sa cabinet meeting namin sa Malacanang, marami pang laws na dapat i-discuss namin sa mga clusters, no? Like ako, I'm the head ng participatory governance cluster. So dapat pala namin yun, ipag-usapan namin yun, and we will call on you to please hasten up the action on these bills, no? Iba wala pang bill, like federalism pala, wala pang bill, neither in Senate or in the House. No? So napakahalaga. We are now, working nationwide in educating our people on federalism, pero wala pa palang. So ito maganda.
Mahaba pa pong debate yung mechanism kung paano papunta doon sa amendment charter.
At saka I understand yung medyo you're disappointed when you invited me once to a meeting at saka hindi na ako naka-attend. Tama pala. At saka hindi rin naka-attend yung mga tao namin. Tama pala si Senator. Napakahalaga pala ito. Itong mga hearings na ito. No? So, thank you very much for inviting me to that's why I have to come. Kasi importante din pala ito.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, what is pending in the Senate and in the House of Representatives is a resolution or a joint resolution calling for the amendments to the Constitution. So we will either decide to call for a constitutional convention or a constituent assembly. And that is the only time that we can discuss the issue of federalism. There is no law and there is no need for any law to be passed to call for federalism. It has to go through the mill, so to speak, a con or a con-as, and both are in both houses already. And I came from the Club Filipino this morning for a small mini LEDAC with the members of the House of Representatives to formulate a list of what we will present the palace on January 30 for the full LEDAC, and what is priority for the Senate and the House. And number one on the list is the amendments to the Constitution. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
So, thank you very much again.
So, we are very much in favor of increasing the penalties dun sa sakla. At saka sana po lahat. Tapos sayang lang yung efforts ng law enforcement agencies na nanghuhuli. Tapos in the end, mababa lang po yung penalties. So, very much in favor ng GAP. Salamat.
Sigurong division of labor di ba? Tupada, bukis ng horse racing, at saka the third one, hayalay. Yun yung sa ng GAB na tutulungan ng PNP, and then the rest, all forms of illegal gambling.
Actually po, nasa scope ng GAB. Alos lahat din. Pero, siyempre, maliit lang po yung, tsaka wala pong budget. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
So again, thank you very much for attending, and good luck to all of us.